This video is brought to you by Ridge Wallet, a slim front pocket wallet available in carbon fiber and titanium. With more than 250,000 sold, a lifetime guarantee and free shipping, get 10% off with the code GOLDFISH at ridgewallet.com. Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another Instant Deck Tech. As you know, Wednesday means it's Wildcard Wednesday here in Instant Deck Tech land, and we have a pretty interesting take on Boros for Standard to look at today. This is Boros Resurgence. Comes to us from Liliana of the Vest, who took it to a 5-0 finish in a competitive Standard League on Magic Online. So congrats to Liliana of the Vest on a super sweet deck. A quick reminder before we break down Boros Resurgence for Standard. If you enjoy this deck and you'll want to see it made into videos, take a minute, click the like button, the subscribe button, leave a comment, anything you can do to support your deck, because whichever deck is most popular gets a shot at being made into videos next week. So Boros Resurgence, unlike most of the Boros decks we've seen in Standard, is actually about going big. We're not trying to win with a bunch of 1-drops and 2-drops. We're trying to get up to some really big 4 and 5 mana things, and then hopefully one-shot kill our opponent with the help of a certain spell. So let's talk about the deck, starting with kind of the common Boros stuff. Runaway Steamkin, Tajik Legion's End. Just two really efficient early game threats for a deck that's playing red. Steamkin ends up being a 4/4 after we cast some spells, and our deck, since it's going a little bit bigger than most Boros decks, can better take advantage of the extra mana it can produce. We can kind of use it like this weird mana savings account where we cast some spells, get it up to a 4/4, and then eventually add 3 extra mana to cast multiple big things in the same turn. Tajik Legion's End, it's just a good 3-drop. It has haste, it has mentor, it can protect our other creatures from lightning strikes and different damage-based removal, so it's just a good, efficient threat. But these cards are kind of the boring ones. This is kind of the filler. What our deck is really about is our big 4 and 5 mana flyers. So Aurelia, Exemplar of Justice, you've probably seen this one before. It is just a very efficient threat. 4 mana, 2/5, but kind of a 4/5 because it can pump ourselves, but it can also pump other things instead to get in some haste-S damage, so it's just really efficient and really scary in the air. 5 toughness makes it dodge a bunch of removal. Rekindling Phoenix, speaking of resilient and efficient in the air, 4/3 for 4 with flying is already good, and then the fact that it just keeps coming back from the graveyard when it dies makes it especially scary. And then at the top end of our curve, we have our dragon, Demanding Dragon, which is kind of one of the better Punisher cards that has ever been printed, because no matter what your opponent chooses, you're getting a good deal. If they sack a creature, that's fine. Your opponent's down to creature. If they take 5 damage, that's also fine because that's a big chunk of damage. So what this deck is really trying to set up is kind of curving out, but getting at least a couple of these huge flyers on the battlefield. Aurelia and a Demanding Dragon, or Rekindling Phoenix and Aurelia, some combination of a couple of these, because if we can do that, we should be able to one-shot kill our opponent with the help of Response Resurgence. So Response, just kind of a removal spell, 5 damage to attacking or blocking creature. That's a fine card on its own. The big deal here, though, is Resurgence. Resurgence basically gives us an extra combat step. So if we can get down a couple of our big flyers, we attack with them. We're going to be hitting our opponent for maybe 9-ish damage, give or take, even with just 2 of the big flyers. I mean, if it's 2 Demanding Dragons, that's 10 damage right there. Plus, our opponent might have taken damage from Demanding Dragon, or we got in some damage with Steamkin. But really, even in the worst case scenario, where we only have 2 of our big flyers, we hit our opponent for 9 damage. Then we use Resurgence to get an extra combat step, and the extra combat step means we hit for 9 more damage. That's 18 damage by itself. And remember, that's the worst case scenario of us having 2 of our flyers. We probably have something else on the battlefield as well, meaning Resurgence is just one-shot kill roughly on turn 6-ish in Standard. So if we can curve out, Response Resurgence makes our deck incredibly scary because we just win out of nowhere by surprise with these massive flyers. Good game, opponent. It is over. So that's kind of the unique part of of this deck. Rather than being aggro with cheap Boros creatures, we're going big and trying to have this like combo S double combat kill thanks to Resurgence. Otherwise, we get a bunch of good removal, Shiv and Fire for the early game, Lava Coil, Exile relevant against things like Rekindling Phoenix, Lightning Strike can go face, another split card, Integrity Intervention, can work with our combo kill. Remember we were talking about 9 damage and then 9 damage again from the 2 attacks with big flyers? Well, Integrity ups that by 2 each attack step, so that's 4 extra damage. That brings the total damage of our combo kill turn from 18 up to 22, which is enough to always be lethal, so the pump spell aspect is nice. Plus, we can always use Intervention as an expensive Lightning Helix going at our opponent's face. Justice Strike, basically the Boros Terminate, kills a lot of creatures in standard for 2 mana instant speed. Deafening Clarion works well with our Tajiks because it's not damaging our stuff. Plus, one of the advantages of going bigger for Demanding Dragons and Aurelias is 3 damage doesn't kill our stuff anyway. And if we're going through that combo turn, we're going to hit our opponent for huge chunks of damage, and we're in danger of dying, the lifelink can just put the game out of reach against aggro. Mana base wise, pretty typical. Buddy land, Shock land, some basic lands. In the sideboard, Siege Gang Commander and Legion Warboss let us go wide if the situation calls for it. Banefire and Lava Coil give us some more damage base removal. Banefire also sweet against control decks, uncounterable damage to the face. Ixalan's Binding to get rid of annoying Teferis and the like. Another sweeper for tokens and aggro and Deafening Clarion, Experimental Frenzy for card advantage, Sorcerer's Spyglass, mostly for planeswalkers, and that is Boros Resurgence for standard, and that's been our instant deck tech for today. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.